you can shoot a video in a full kit, but you can get started with what you already have. How do you know what to upgrade and when? And how do you know when you've gone too far? I had a reason for every piece of gear that I've bought, but not all of them have had a result. Content is king, gear doesn't matter. Well, I'll bet nobody ever unsubscribed from you because you were sloppy with your color grading. But there is a sort of viability threshold where your lack of gear could be subtly working against you. Your viewer is that cute guy or gal you want to get to know. Sure, you can probably get by on your winning smile and witty rapport, but a shower and presentable clothing probably make that initial approach a lot easier. What are the things that make someone actually look forward to your approach, and which ones are just you mooning for the mirror? I shot my first video on my phone with the sun as my only light source. It didn't get the most views I've ever gotten, but people watched more of that video than any video I've ever recorded since then. So why buy any more gear at all then? Well, you can't always count on there being sunshine when you need to record. Now, I can record at night. And I live in New Hampshire, and in the winter times, it gets dark pretty early. There's also that bokeh effect, that nice, pleasing background blur. And that only comes from a real camera with a lens that has a decent wide aperture. Not to mention keeping your phone and all of its battery levels and notifications and distractions separate from recording your video. Separate audio also means you can be further from the camera without sacrificing the quality of the video. So look at your videos, listen to your audio, and ask yourself, what could make the experience better for someone watching and listening to this? For most people starting out, audio is the first thing on that list, followed by a decent camera. For those of us who don't live in Phoenix or Denver, lighting is that last necessary early item. Knowing exactly what each upgrade is going to improve is the first step before you start putting your dollars onto a diet. So what's the distance between the idea and the execution of that idea? Think of each of your videos as a race where the starting line is your eureka and the finish line is where you lovingly upload it. You have to run flat out between the two. When they're separated by too much, you're exhausted by the time you get to the upload button. Reduce the space between them, and you get to decrease the energy you need to expend to get there. Because, you can force yourself through by sheer willpower for a few times, but that's going to become impossible and probably lead to burnout. Just imagine trying to sprint a marathon every week. Improving your video also means you're going to add to the setup that you need to do before you can record. When your only equipment is your phone, setup means, am I in the frame? Once you get a camera and an audio pickup and lighting, well, that helps a whole lot. There's a whole lot more effort and thought that goes into it. What can you do about that? Aside from batching, which means you record several videos together, and that has its own benefits, there are a few other things that make it easier to get to go. Are you dragging over a dresser and stacking books up to get the camera at the right height? A tripod could save you some time and back pain. Do you live in the devil's armpit, but your camera was designed by penguins? Maybe an inexpensive cooling fan. That's what I have. If you can't improvise without going on 3 tangents and a grocery list, maybe Teleprompter Man could go to your rescue. None of these have any effect on what the final video looks or sounds like, but they can make your own personal crew a whole lot happier, especially when you are the entire crew. Now, I don't have a dedicated studio space, and maybe you don't either. This room is multi-purpose. So every time I record, I need to tear down and set up. So my needs are specific. I have a monopod and a V-mount battery to close the distance between start and record. Think about where the slow or low energy patches are between when you start your process and when you actually get to publish. It could be a remote for your camera so that you can start and stop between takes. Or it could be making a template for your video uploads, so you can streamline the upload to publish leg of the journey. 7 years ago, I decided I was going to be a podcaster. Ask me how many episodes I've published. How many videos have you? 0. I've never published a single podcast episode. For my podcast, I didn't just need a mixer. I needed a mixer that could handle 4 mics because of all the podcast guests and interviews I was going to do. And of course, I need the 4 microphones. And the microphones need stands and a table for everyone to sit around, right? Yeah. Oh, and headphones. Everything I bought made sense at the time. Every single one was on behalf of the future Mickey, who would definitely need them for the podcast. Now, it's kind of insidious because it ties into your dreams, and you should definitely go all in on your dreams. And I am still going to do that podcast. Just you wait. The line between aspiration and reality is actually pretty clear, but you might be too close to see it. It could help to set a date and commit to it, and then only get the bare minimum, and maybe a little less, to just get it done. Fact is, you might just not be the person who needs that gear yet. Buying stuff is not how you make things happen. Trust me on that one. What if are the 2 most expensive words I can think of. What if I want to record outside? What if I have a guest? What if I want to shoot against a green screen? What if I need good audio while I'm skydiving? What if aliens attack and I need a universal translator? You're thinking ahead, right? You're being prepared, aren't you? I mean, do you have a mirror for your phone so you can frame things correctly? What about a wireless lavalier mic in case you need to record on the go? Oh, of course, you need to get a car mount for vlogging in your car, just in case you ever do. Riddle me this, Batman. How many videos would I have recorded without my what-if purchases?
I'm not actually Batman.
None. The things that I still use are the ones that I bought to solve problems I was already actually having. Gear should solve actual problems, not just try to ease your anxiety. Amazon shipping's only a day or 2 away. Let the future take care of itself rather than buying bins to store it in. Gear is awesome. I love gear. I love tinkering with it, talking about it, to watching other people talk about it. But most gear is not necessary to make a really good video. If it makes the experience better for your viewer or makes it easier for you to record, that's probably a good candidate. Otherwise, it's a side project or a fast track to hoarding bins of junk. Next time you're thinking about padding someone else's affiliate commissions, just ask yourself whether you're solving a problem or buying one. Amazon will still be there after you sleep on it. And after you do sleep on it, by all means, feel free to pad my affiliate commissions by following the links in the description to the gear you've seen at no extra cost to you, and it helps me out. Gear, its lack or its surplus isn't what's standing between you and your destiny. Sometimes the biggest obstacle is in your own mind. If that sounds like you, this might be where you want to go next.